Good evening and welcome to the virtual end of year show 2021 of the School of Architecture and Planning of Anglia Ruskin University. I'm Professor Maria Voyazaki, Deputy Head of School of Architecture and Planning at Anglia Ruskin University and your compa for this evening. This evening we'll present the nominations for awards that will be finalised in the near future, awards, prizes and certificates for all our courses in architecture, architectural technology, and MSc Town Planning. We will invite the winners of each category to make a short statement on their success. What will unfold in this relatively short and disproportionate to the actual effort film is evidence not only of the hard work, innovative design proposals, or the ethics of designing for our lives as part of a sustainable planet. It is the resilience, perseverance and inventiveness of both our staff and students to deliver even better and more innovative pedagogies, which have in turn yielded brilliant outcomes through elaborate processes of design explorations exclusively online. The trial we have all gone through during the pandemic has made us stronger, more confident and prepared for any challenge ahead. Our staff take pride of not only the work that will be displayed in this virtual show, but of the high morale of students and staff alike and belief in our human power and resourcefulness. I would now like to invite Professor Laurie Butler, Pro Vice Chancellor and Dean of the Science and Engineering Faculty of Anglia Ruskin University.
I'm delighted to welcome you to the Architecture, Architectural Technology and Town Planning virtual event. Tonight is a celebration of all the hard work of our students over the course of this academic year. Our courses contain a range of activities that include design, theory, history and the arts. And it's this blend of the sciences and the humanities that fosters the creativity, imagination and discovery that our students need to produce such high quality and diverse work. As part of this evening's event, my colleagues will be announcing a series of awards, prizes and certificates to recognise the achievements of particular individuals. However, in a year that has been unlike any other, I would like to pay particular and special tribute to the collective achievements of all of our students, staff, external partners and supporters who have worked so tirelessly together to get us through this academic year. You learn an awful lot about people and yourselves in times of challenge and difficulty, and I'm hugely proud of each and every one of you. So thank you all. Time now to celebrate together and do enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, Professor Butler. May I now invite Dr. Esther Norton, Head of the School of Engineering and the Built Environment, to which architecture, architectural technology and town planning belong. Dr. Norton, the floor is yours.
We have had a really busy year this year in architecture and planning. In October, the Royal Institute of British Architects, RIBA, came to the Chelmsford campus for their exploratory accreditation visit. The visit was successful and we received candidate status. Since then, we have been preparing for the full visit and full accreditation, which will happen in October of this year. We designed and validated a new curriculum, which we are really excited about. This curriculum is very design focused and will give students a holistic vision of architectural design, which includes not only the technical and aesthetic aspects, but also will require students to consider people, space and community in their design work. Sustainability and working towards a healthy planet will be at the forefront of everything our students do. At the start of this year, architecture was the course I was most concerned about in terms of teaching and learning online during the pandemic. Looking at the student work produced this year shows me that I had nothing to worry about. The team have been inspirational and incredibly innovative, and students have produced the most wonderful work. You need only look at the beautiful pavilion behind me, designed and built by our students, as evidence of an exceptional year. The work you are about to see is from all years of the architecture course, and you will hear students talking about their work and their experience in architecture in 2020-21. I hope you enjoy it.
Since beginning first year, I've experienced a big change in teaching styles. There's been large amounts of exposure to lecturers' thoughts and ideas, which has definitely broadened my thinking, and it's allowed me to form my own opinions on the subjects that we've been learning, which has been a big help. Staff have been very supportive, whether it's emailing with a problem late into the evening or with feedback for a project. Their responses are always fast and helpful. The suggestions are always filled with improvements or other approaches that can be taken to solve your issues. This has been a massive help, especially when approaching a deadline.
When we started, it was quite odd. We were making artifacts, and we thought this had nothing to do with architecture, making sculptures based on points, lines, surface, or volume. When we started our first project that involved real architecture, we realised that it was a lot similar to the projects we had before, and it did help us come up with our ideas and inspiration. I really enjoyed the artifact project. It helped us figure things out creatively and begin working out certain styles that we like to use and certain preferences that we like to work with.
I started my course in September. Although I started online, still continued online. Basically everything was online. And at first it was a bit tricky adjusting to the whole system because the education system from where I'm from and here is quite different. But eventually I got the hang of it. We had access to lots of learning materials. Our tutors were really helpful. That was the advantage of online learning for me. I eventually started, I would say, like a little bit contact with my peers that was doing the whole pavilion construction. That was the first time of really interacting with them, aside just answering questions in class or asking questions in class. And it was actually nice. We were able to work well together, even though that was like our first time, for me anyways. We were able to really share ideas, learn from each other.
This year we started with basic but essential knowledge techniques, and with that we combined writing like technical reports and design reports with more sketching and modelling both on digital formats and physically. This enabled like a wide range of skills that an architecture student needs. Alongside this, we got support from other students and from the lecturers in group environments and on a one-to-one when facing challenges, which proved really helpful.
Talking to professionals is a massive thing that the whole group learned, and taking on feedback from the people who know what they're doing is also very helpful. And it's not just listening to what they say, it's also implementing it. The biggest challenge when it comes to working with these people is that you've never met them before. With COVID, we've all had to have online lessons. So you're trusting someone who you've never met to tell you whether your work is good or not. And at the start it's hard, but you get used to it.
What I learned from a few of these projects was that it's not always a bad idea to give up and start again. And that helps realise that your work isn't too precious. As a class, we all helped each other out as we're all in the same boat and we sort of understand the situation we're in and the difficulties that we can face.
From the start of this academic year, I've been fortunate to be surrounded by members of staff who have all had experience previously working in major firms such as Hedberg and Ruskin, and they'll have experiencing it virtually, mostly virtually due to COVID. I was still able to receive very useful feedback on all my projects, which definitely had a positive impact on the overall outcome at the end.
The process of building the pavilion behind me really highlighted how much thought goes into a building project, even beyond the design process in the studio. We discussed the solutions to any issues that came up as a group within the staff that was brought in to help us out, and it gave us an opportunity to work as a multidisciplinary team with sort of engineers working with us, and it really sort of came together as a group project from start to finish, like never felt like the sort of staff working on it, and then us sat in the background really felt involved and, you know, at the heart of the project. I learnt more from this process than any other one thing in my uni life, and it really felt like a good opportunity to get hands-on and definitely learn more from this than anything I can think of conceptually. And it turned out really great. I was really pleased with it, and it was just great how we all came together and got closer as a group that worked on it. I would highly recommend anyone to do it.
Working on life briefs gives students so much more knowledge than just experience things on paper. It makes these students realise what it takes to not only design well, to specify well, but then actually when it comes to constructing. And that's what employers are looking for, people who have that holistic, all-round knowledge. This knowledge, by working with all the different materials here behind me, they're working with homegrown larch and homegrown oak. It is green, which means it has been freshly felled, it has not been kiln dried, it's gone through a process of steaming which has made it manipulable to make this fantastic sort of twirling structure.
One of the things I've enjoyed most about my time at Anglia Ruskin so far, having studied first year and just completed second year, was the progression from the first project, which was working with rule-based design on the line, point, surface and volume, and how that's influenced me throughout the 2 years. So at first, when I came to Anglia Ruskin and had that project sort of sprung upon me, it seemed a bit irrelevant almost. It didn't have a complete understanding of what it was for. But moving through the second year, or moving through the first year actually, into the parasite project at the end, became very clear, where the rule-based design sort of completely dictated my project.
It's a transition from face-to-face learning into online. I think I would say it was sort of easy in a way, because we were already in the momentum of things, so it was easier to go into it. Working with Maria, we already had that push of, you know, she's always pushing us to do our best, so it didn't feel strange in a way. They have two very different approaches to teaching, I would say, and Maria is sort of that I personally see as a motherly effect on you, and she's always there and telling you to do this and telling you to do that, and she's always going to be on you. But when you transition to the second year, it's more of it tests you in a way. Well, it is important that you have that self-discipline. I think that's what Maria taught us, and Francesco too. And well, don't take it way too seriously, because I feel like uni gives us the privilege of having fun with it and just being creative. Experiment with it, I would say. I think that's the best way to look at it. So yeah, have fun with it and then learn about yourself. That's what I think.
University has also given students so many opportunities for hands-on experiences, such as the pavilion build in the first year. New things, memorable experiences to use, so to try and use this time to step out of your comfort zone, and you'll be surprised at what you can achieve.
Another bit of the university course I've enjoyed so far is how the projects have progressed in their complexity, where we did a small 25 metre squared parasite project, which was very relevant to the current circumstances, where it was a small building designed for self-isolation in the back garden, which was quite cool. Trying to work around the current circumstances. And then moving into the second year, we then moved on to a small London townhouse where we did a slight refit, and then moving on to the final project of the second year, which was a larger 150 metre squared design in Haringey. So it's gone from 25 to a slightly larger to 150 metres squared. It's quite a good progression.
So the third year was obviously a challenge with COVID and everything that everyone was dealing with. but with the support and commitment of the in-house practitioner and the person who works in practice who was able to be brought in. They were both available. They were just very committed and always thinking in the background of ideas for your projects, you know, as you were sort of parallel thinking, and just able to always have tutorials with them and long calls where you'd bounce ideas off each other. Just really made it possible in what was obviously a lot more challenging circumstance compared to, you know, being able to meet in person a couple times a week and have those conversations. So they really sort of came through in difficult times and made it, you know, possible to produce something as good as you possibly could with everything going on, and yeah, made it possible basically.
Together with my teammates and my colleagues from university that I've met from different courses within the built environment, we had this idea of providing what we have learned and actually practicing in the real world. And with COVID hitting us, we had to go after it. So this is what we've done. So we managed to secure a work experience in a remote island in West Africa. And all of us, we worked through it and we study. We work part-time to be able to afford some of the costs. And we went on this journey that it was amazing. So it all started by, on the first year when we all met our colleagues, we came together and we decided to do this. So it was a 3-year plan. We spoke with our tutors and got everything together. We found a sponsor in the island and we all went in the final year. The only issue was COVID hit us, and it was a big issue, but we managed to overcome it because all 6 of us, we were very driven for architecture and the built environment. So we were able to travel to this remote island and tackle some issues like sustainability and how we could design something ecological and good for the island. So at the end of the trip, the outcome and the reflective thought that I had was that we learned that the real professional world is harsh. And to be able to practice what we study in Ruskin, we had to understand that architecture is much more than a beautiful drawing. It is the communication and the articulation of ideas. It is both the process and as much as the result. It's the balance between the freedom and the constraints to design. It is the ultimate form of collaboration between a chain of bodies with a single purpose but different perspectives. Architecture is the art of designing a seamless and invisible border between thoughtful, inspired forms and a functional, driven purpose. And with no doubt, this wouldn't be possible without the Anglia Ruskin support and our experience throughout the 3 years of our stay in there.
The things that I've learned from uni is kind of working alongside tutors, learning how to think, learning how to kind of problem solve, and then learning how to find out information, research, develop that process. From Francesco, I learned a considerable amount of the history and theory and the way of thinking, especially through kind of cultural context studies. From Howard, I've learned how to disassemble a design, test it, figure out its flaws, and how to extract that information from there. Kind of all these things that I've learned have kind of really kind of steered me into being a very proficient individual. So when I then approach future architecture companies with my CV, I know I'm confident enough to say that I have the information and the skills required to be an exceptional member of their team.
Good evening and welcome to the virtual end of year show for our School of Architecture and Planning at Anglia Ruskin University. My name is Francesco Zuddas and I'm the course leader for the BA Architecture course. Every year at the end of the year, we give out a number of outstanding performance awards to our students from all the 3 years of course, first, second, and third year. And for that now, I will be introducing our first speaker, Professor Maria Voyazaki, who is the module leader for the first year design studio, and she will be nominating the first year Outstanding Performance Award.
The first year award for outstanding performance goes to Kieran Sullivan. Kieran is not only a charismatic designer, a diligent student, but is a great co-author of ideas, collegial and kind. Congratulations to you, Kieran, but also to all the first year students that combined effort and cultivated skills and competencies to carry out the long architectural journey ahead.
Thank you for this award. I'm very, very honoured to have received this. But of course, I wouldn't have been able to get it without the continued support of not only my teachers, but also my fellow students, who I think we've all created a support group where we can help each other and ask for help and be there for each other. And I hope this continues into the next year. I'm sure it will. Also, our guest lecturers have helped massively. Their wealth and depth of knowledge has been instrumental to not only my success but also that of my peers. I'm very happy that I've chosen to study at ALU. It's more than exceeded my expectations. Not only the quality of teaching, but also the interestingness of the subject and the facilities as well. Great to use. I hope that it all continues into the next year. And yeah, thank you for the award.
Today, I'm pleased to announce that the Outstanding Performance Award for a second-year architecture student for the 2020-2021 academic year goes to Alenka Noakes. In this very peculiar, to say the least, year, when various types of distancing between tutors and students, but even more importantly, I guess, among the students themselves, have challenged our traditional ways of learning, Alenka has shown a remarkable commitment to every single piece of work that she was tasked with developing. Always among the most active students in participating during tutorials and discussions, and always committed to improve her work and capable of turning feedback into real personal development by building from a strong base that she had there already in the first year. Alenka has greatly improved her skills. In design terms, the result is expressed in an impressive set of drawings that span from technical competence to delicate poetics. So congratulations, Alenka. But before I finish, I just want to add a quick final note, because whilst this prize is deservedly going to Alenka, I also want to take the opportunity here to thank all the other students in second year for managing to make successful this exceptional year. So once again, Alenka, congratulations.
We've worked really hard this year. It's been really challenging with the pandemic, but we've had a lot of support from the tutors and our peers. I'm really grateful to have had my work recognised. It's been a really challenging journey. The modules have been really interesting, and we've been able to explore lots of different areas of design. I found it quite challenging being a single parent, mother of two. But we've been able to keep up with the work. I think what's driven me to complete year two is the passion that I have for architecture and design. I think you've really got to work hard and put the time in. You really have to allocate all of your time into this and see each project as an adventure, a learning adventure. I'd just like to thank all the tutors that have supported us, and I really look forward to starting year three and starting a new journey.
We would very much like to award Ian, otherwise known as Choi In Hao, for the outstanding achievement in third year, final year of BA Honours Architecture degree. Ian has been absolutely fantastic this year. Not only has he done an amazing project, a forest kindergarten, and showing people how the world should be educated to learn about how to solve climate change and the way that we live together. But he also was the only person in third year who participated in two major events. One was the Make workshop, which was a 3-week event. And the second one was an amazing project over December, January and February, when the students all went off, or group of students went to an island in the Pacific to do a live project. And Ian participated in both of those, always with a smiling face. Everybody loves him, and he's just done an amazing job. So we're very happy to award him this prize.
Thank you for this honor, and I'm delighted to have won this prize for the 3rd year Outstanding Performance Student at ARU School of Architecture. I would like to thank all my tutors that have taught me, and all my friends and parents that have supported me and believed in me. And I have to say, though, that what drives me is not about the marks, but it's about my passions and love for architecture. And looking back, I'm very happy to have chosen this subject that I see both as personal joy and as a future job as a professional. And yeah, I feel ready for the next steps. Thank you, ARU.
I would now like to invite Tom Foggin, Chair of the Royal Institute of British Architects East Branch, to award the best final year design project to a 3rd year student. But before I do so, I would like to stress that our liaison with RIBA, ever since we are candidate status part 1, has grown stronger, and it will grow even stronger once we have the full status in October 2021. And I'm very much looking forward to our collaborations in the future in creating our Masters Part 2 and then Part 3. Thank you, Tom, for your continuous support and your vivid presence in all of our activities every single year. The floor is yours. Thank you.
I'm delighted to be here this afternoon to congratulate Yash Shetty on winning the RIBA 3rd year prize for his BA Honours Architecture. Yash has, by all accounts, been an exemplary student this year, acting to support others, to make a positive contribution to the course and to the facilities that students have. And his calm and professional attitude and caring personality make him an excellent candidate to become an architect one day. And his work focusing on pollution and over-harvesting of the world's oceans and rivers really touches on a few important issues to do with sustainability and the way in which we affect the planet. So I'm really proud to be here to present Yash with the 3rd year prize this year. So congratulations to Yash. It's an excellent project, and also reflects the way in which the school is working towards its RIBA validation and becoming a course for professionals across the UK.
I'm extremely honoured to be receiving such a prestigious award, which is the RIBA East for the Best Architecture Project. I'm honestly grateful for the recognition I've received for my work, especially which goes towards making a better place to live in. This came up to be as a surprise. Wasn't expecting it. I would like to thank everyone who was involved throughout my time at ARU. Special thanks to Howard for his invaluable supervision support throughout my final year. So my project is the Organic Aqua, which primarily focuses on making the world a better place to live in. We have depleted the Earth's resources, and we need to learn a sustainable way of using these resources and celebrating this new confidence on a global scale. I am proposing a new global brand of co-living and co-working communities, which is comprised of diversity of fishermen and women, vertical growers, chefs, nutritionists, researchers, with the sole aim of establishing a landmark for the Royal Docks, as well as a vibrant public gathering place which is connected to the sustainable fish farming that I have, as well as the UK's first ever underwater restaurant.
I would now like to welcome for more awards to architectural technology students, Richard Longstaff, outgoing course leader, and Dr. Federica Pascale, incoming course leader of architectural technology.
Hello there, I'm Richard Longstaff and I've been leading the architectural technology course now for some 15 years, and these previous 2 years have been exceptional in terms of the pandemic and the difficulties that's caused. But nevertheless, our students have persevered. Many have had their own personal difficulties to overcome and challenges, as we all have. This year, I'm delighted that the quality and outcome of some of the best work has been the best we've ever seen over those 15 years. And I'm delighted today to present some awards to recognise the achievements of the students that have not just performed and excelled this year, but also those students that have overcome personal challenges and still performed to the best of their ability. I'd like to present the awards for progression for those students on the AET course, and the first award is for the 5th year part-time progression award, and that goes to Lana Yearley for her secondary school project for final major design project. Well done.
This is such lovely news, and thank you so much for the nomination. I've learned so much through my time at AIU, and this course has really helped me step outside my comfort zone. I'm very excited with what I can learn from this, or what I've learned and taken from this course, especially as I looked into passive house design throughout my studies, and I now want to go on to be a passive house certified designer. So without this course, obviously I wouldn't have gone down that route. So I'm very appreciative of everything that I've taken from this course, and this course has taught me. So thank you very much.
And for the 4th year part-time progression student is awarded to Macaulay Rolfe for his sense and level of engagement throughout the year, his dedication to teamwork and individual contribution to his cohort and pathway.
So yeah, a big thank you to Richard Longstaff for putting me forward for this award. It's greatly appreciated, especially during this COVID pandemic. It has made studies quite hard this year, so it's nice for a bit of recognition for the work that we've done.
And for the 3rd year, the progression award goes to Ruby Lord, not just for her dedication to her work this year on the course, but also for continuing to represent CIAT at regional level and to continue the chair of our aspiration group for young upcoming architectural technologists.
I was not expecting this award, but I'm really grateful for being nominated for it. So this degree helps me not only in my sort of personal progression, but also in my employment progression, just by learning all the different aspects of architectural technology.
Also in this category is Vinny Prasad. Vinny Prasad, who has overcome incredible challenges this year to still produce and excel in various modules. Thank you, Vinay.
I'm very delighted to receive this award for progression. All the course so far has helped me in my work, and I'm looking forward for the next trimester. Thank you.
The 2nd year part-time progression award goes to Harriet Key for her determination and dedication despite family pressures and challenges well done to you all and congratulations. It's been a real challenging year for everybody, and these awards recognise maybe a few students, but I know that every student on the course has put their very best effort into their work, and we never that never goes without being recognised. So well done to you all on what has been a difficult year. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Federica Pascale and I'm the new course leader for Architectural Technology. I'm taking over the role after Richard Longstaff's very successful term. Also, I'm new to the role. I was astonished to see the quality of the work our students have been able to produce in such difficult year, especially first-year students. So I'm very glad to award a Shared Progression Award to Year 1 students Oliver Falkus and Mihai Ursan. Well done, you did a fantastic job, and everybody here at Anglia Ruskin University is very proud of you.
I'm delighted to be accepting this reward from ARU. I've learned a lot this year. It's been great fun learning about all the different techniques and methods and how architecture goes about and how it works in the field. I'm looking forward very much so for next year, where we can develop further on all of the skills we've made so far, and to improve and hopefully get a job in the future in architecture.
I'm really happy to receive this award from the university. Just like Oliver, I've learned tons this year. My background used to be in product design. Now moving to architecture is a completely different thing. The tutors helped me to bridge this gap quite a lot. And I'd like to thank them for all their hard work and all their commitment to the subject. I'd also like to thank my teachers from secondary school who pushed me to do architecture and pushed me to go to university. So a big shout out and thank you very much for this award again.
It's my pleasure to present today one of our most esteemed awards in architectural technology in collaboration with CIAT East Anglia region. And the projects this year have been nothing short of outstanding. Despite the pandemic, our students have persevered and produced some amazing work. It's difficult to choose a winner when there's so much talent in the year's cohort, and this year has certainly been no exception. The couldn't decide an outright winner, but the two schemes that just pipped it to the post were Corey Moore's Norwich residential tower, which I must say is a timber framed residential tower, and the attention to detail across all aspects of the design, both aesthetically, technically, including fire regulations, building regulations, and the level of detail in the facade makeup was phenomenal.
It's brilliant news. I've put so many hours and hard work into it, and it means loads. I've showed my bosses and they're really proud of it too. And it's great that I'll be able to take this forward, have it on my CV in future, and have sort of the bragging rights as the amount of effort I've put in is worth something, which is brilliant. So it's really appreciated.
And also Harvey Hale's residential scheme around the lake, which involved a degree of master planning. And again, the level of technical detail that went into this, the exploded axonometrics, the monocoque construction, and the assembly details and prefabrication was again outstanding. And of course, the innovation was amazing as well. In both projects, Corey developing bespoke hexagonal green planting facade system, and Harvey with his now infamous rainwater harvesting system.
Extremely surprised to receive this award for my master's dissertation project. Very delighted. I've studied for 6 years now alongside working full time, The course has been fantastic, and I'm now looking forward to getting my head down and well stuck into my career. So I want to say a massive thank you to all of my colleagues and the tutors at ARU who have helped me achieve this award. So thank you very much.
Outstanding projects, and my congratulations goes to both students, Harvey Hale and Corey Moore, for the best outstanding major design project this year. Thank you very much for your hard work and dedication throughout the year.
So before starting the course, I did not know much about planning because I came from an architecture background. But since being on the course, it has made me understand planning related issues and how they can impact people's lives for better or worse. I would say the site studies module helped to improve my software and drawing skills. And in terms of the lectures, having class discussions helped me to understand more about planning and build confidence with applying that knowledge. It increases my portfolio and CV by showing I have an in-depth awareness of the historical, social, economic, and political planning issues, which all contributes to the shift of planning for a city or a town. I have found the experience challenging as it is new to me, but I have definitely seen the benefits of town planning as a whole and think it is something most people should be aware of, as it hugely impacts the way people live.
Hello, my name's Jack Street. I'm a first year MSc Town Planning student. I'm doing the apprenticeship scheme. This means that I'm working with Braintree District Council at the same time that I'm doing my master's degree in town planning. Doing it through this route for me is very useful because you're not only learning practical experience and gaining knowledge in the workplace, but you're also gaining more of a theoretical, fundamental basis of planning through the course. So you're learning the concepts and the theories that inform the processes that you're then doing whilst you're at work. I think it's been really useful for me because it demonstrates why we're doing what we're doing, because beforehand, to me, planning was just planning, application and decision, and that was it really. But going through this process of a degree, you learn the interactive processes of uni. You learn what goes into it, how plans are made. You learn things like plan making, spatial planning, etc. And that planning isn't just one thing, there are different branches to it. So it really unlocks a new perspective on planning, and it really inspires you to see where you sit within the wider system and essentially what path you would like to take going forward. So I think it's been a very useful experience, and I'm sure it will shape my future in the industry.
It has been a pleasant surprise to see the level of resilience demonstrated by our students, who have obviously been through a very challenging time, both in terms of their work, for those who are part-timers, as well as study. And we have obviously been very keen to put into place additional support for them in this regard. So the move to online teaching and delivery has been interesting and challenging, and it's been really sort of fascinating to see how our students have adapted to this new environment, particularly in terms of collaborative team projects. Nonetheless, despite these challenges, some really high quality work has continued to be produced, much to the credit of our students and also my colleagues on the planning course team, Michelle Lyon and Nigar Ahmadpour. So my thanks to my course team colleagues and also to our students. And I would like to announce the awards for this year. We have 2 town planning, Royal Town Planning Institute awards. One is a national award for the best achievement, and one is a regional RTPI East Maurice Hillier Award for the best work on sustainability by a student at Anglia Ruskin University. These two awards will be announced and presented in relation to the graduation later this year. Our other awards, I'm delighted to announce that Boyer Planning Consultancy have continued to sponsor the Boyer Award for Excellence in Urban Design at Anglia Ruskin University. And this year, the award goes to Mark MacDonald for his excellent work on his major project, producing a guide for planners to space syntax and how to apply this on a major site.
I'd like to thank all the staff at ARU and certainly the opportunity that they provided me to practice again, being creative and practicing with the urban design module. I've absolutely relished the opportunity of going back to my earlier degree in architecture and practicing urban design in redesigning parts of Chelmsford with the team. It was a great privilege to work with them, and I've also carried that interest on to working with my major project, my dissertation, which is behind me, which was redesigning part of Ipswich. So I'd also like to acknowledge everything I've gained from working with Anglia Ruskin University and completing the MSc, because it's enabled me to make a career change into planning and urban design and all that offers me over the next few years. So thank you ever so much for the award. I really appreciate it, for excellence in urban design. Thank you.
Next awards are internal progression awards given by the School of Architecture, in which town planning is located, to students on the planning course who have overcome challenges to do well on the course. For the first year, part-time, the award goes to Daniel Brooks, a young mother who is juggling a new career in planning with the course and looking after her young children at home during this really challenging time. Danielle has been very engaging. She has engaged really well, and I'm delighted, to recognise her efforts.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for honouring me with this award. I'm really grateful to receive it, and it's a bit of a shock. I've just come off my first year as a degree apprentice student in doing a master's in town planning, and I've absolutely loved my first year. I have had some challenges with regard to coronavirus and learning online and all of those things that I'm sure many of you have experienced, but I just wanted to thank Michelle Lyon for being a fantastic personal tutor and guiding me, and all the staff and my peers within the Masters that have helped me support myself all the way through. I've really enjoyed my first year, and I'm absolutely looking forward to the next one.
The Progression Award for our second and third year students part-time this year goes to James Truett, who has remained very positively engaged with the course, overcoming his challenges as well to do really well on the course. I'm delighted that James has been recognised in this way. And our Progression Award for a full-time student this year goes to Rochelle McDonough, a student with an architectural background who has made the move into town planning and has similarly overcome significant challenges to do really well on the course, and has remained positive and engaged with her studies.
I'm really delighted for this nomination for the Planning Progression Award, and I have been really enjoying my course so far. I've learned a lot about teamwork and about how planning really impacts different people in our society.
Architects and architectural technology students need to assimilate lots of knowledge in their first 3 years of study. They write, they design, they model, but how many actually build with the materials that they will use in practice at scale? The Live Pavilion brief enables these students to learn by doing, specifying materials correctly, ordering them in time, understanding the sequence of a build, looking at durability and maintenance. The Live Pavilion brief gives these students the confidence and practical skills that employers value beyond unrefined design that may not, in fact, be buildable. The East Anglia Timber Trade Association, working in conjunction with TRADA and the Timber Trade Federation, are so keen that students develop these skills, which is why we are so thrilled to work with Maria, the Deputy Head of School at Anglia Ruskin, and her team, so that students leave university with these skills that are valued. This year's pavilion has been one of the most challenging but most rewarding that has happened so far. Materials have been hard to get, and working with teams that have been displaced all over the country has been a real trial. But I'm sure you'll agree, when you see the pavilion, it is incredible what these first year students have done, guided by such a great team. And so to the winning designer, Tone, we'd like to award the following. This is Designing Timber Structures, a new book out by TRADA, so that he can carry on the fabulous work that he has already started to undertake.
I am particularly proud that my design was about to be built. However, my learning does not stop when we design, but when we build it. I have been learning our design idea need to be changed in order to be constructed. I cannot wait to see it in real life. It is exciting.
But he could not do this alone. It is a team effort. They have all attended workshops and lectures and refined what was a single stroke concept into a pavilion that has been buildable. This has been manufactured with the help of Charlie Winnie from English oak and English larch. In recognition of the students who participated in designing and refining the single stroke structure, we'll be awarding certificates to Kieran Sullivan, Ellie Oliver Fitch, Jamie Hardcastle, Mira Urson, Poshan Gale, Jay Marchant, Chloe Moranjani, Tone Laquan, Hamil Mohammed, Malika Ibramo, and James Taylor.
There could be no better way to close the event but by announcing hot off the press news. Congratulations to our first year architecture and architectural technology students, Sullivan Kieran, Poshan Gale, Jay Marchant, Oliver Kieran, for being shortlisted in the top 8 first year students in the Riverside Sunderland University Design Challenge, a competition that is held by TRADA, the Timber Research and Development Association, and even better news coming from Howard Gilby.
And we are very pleased to hear that one of our third year students, Yash Shetty, today attended the Architecture for Health Awards ceremony, and he won. He won the Judges Special Award for Innovation and Sustainability. So that is really great news, and well done, Yash.
And this could conclude what has been a great virtual event of celebration of hard work and resilience. Please join me once again in congratulating all our awarded students and staff on the wonderful achievements. Here's one last word that sums it all up.
Just finished the second year University of Architecture, As you can see with my 2 little ones here, it's been quite a challenge, but enjoyable, stressful at times. But you know, the skills you learn and the things you learn coming from it, from learning from peers. I'm an older student, a mature student, so working with the younger generation is really enjoyable. Learned a lot from everybody, really. It's a dream of mine to have always done a university degree. It's not impossible to achieve. It's something that anybody could do if you put your mind to it. But you do need to put your mind to it. You do need to sacrifice time to it. But it is doable. I've done it with 2 young children and working as well to keep a roof over their heads. And it's just something that it's a good achievement. It's good for your soul. It's a good achievement.